The U.S. military has just deployed the most terrifying submarine ever built, the Columbia-class, a 560-foot steel ghost that can strike anywhere, anytime, and never be seen. It doesn't need to surface for 42 years, carries nuclear missiles with intercontinental range, and is virtually undetectable. This isn't just a submarine, it's a silent fortress, a game-changer in global warfare. What it can do is more than powerful. It's chilling. Meet the silent monster. In the deep silence of the ocean, size and stealth rarely coexist. But the United States Navy is rewriting that rule, stretching approximately 560 feet and displacing over 20,810 long tons submerged. The Columbia-class submarine will become the largest and most advanced submarine the U.S. has ever built. This nuclear-powered vessel isn't just large, it's a fortress of steel engineered for invisibility, built by General Dynamics Electric Boat to anchor America's nuclear deterrence strategy well into the 2080s. The Columbia-class is being developed to replace the aging Ohio-class SSNX fleet, whose 14 ballistic missile submarines have patrolled the oceans since the 1980s. Those older subs will begin decommissioning in the late 2020s, and Columbia's deployment is scheduled to begin around 2031. Despite being fewer in number, just 12 Columbia-class boats are planned, the newer submarines will match or exceed the strategic coverage of the current fleet through longer patrol endurance and reduced maintenance cycles. But size isn't what makes the Columbia-class terrifying. It's what you won't hear. Designed to be quieter than any U.S. submarine before it, the Columbia moves with electric propulsion, has acoustic coatings, a pump jet propulsor, and an entirely new hull design focused on sonar absorption. It's a predator, but one built to be unseen and unheard. It patrols in silence, and by the time you're aware of its presence, it's too late. With costs projected to exceed $130 billion for the full program, the Columbia-class is one of the most expensive military undertakings in American history. But for the Pentagon, this isn't just another sub, it's a deterrent that must be unshakable. A second strike weapon system meant to survive anything, including the apocalypse. And the engine behind this unstoppable deep-sea sentinel? A nuclear heart that will beat silently for over 4 decades without ever needing to be refueled. Power that never sleeps. At the heart of the Columbia-class submarine lies its most revolutionary component, the S-1B nuclear reactor, developed jointly by the Navy and Department of Energy. Unlike older designs that required midlife refueling after 20 years, this advanced power source is built to operate for the entire 42-year service life of the submarine without ever being opened. That means fewer vulnerabilities, more time on patrol, and fewer chances for an enemy to catch a sub off duty. Nuclear-powered submarines have been around since USS Nautilus in 1955, but even the most advanced predecessors, like the Ohio class, needed to be taken out of service for months, sometimes years, to replace their fuel. With the Columbia class, the Navy eliminates this weakness. That's not just a technical upgrade, it's a strategic transformation. These submarines can now maintain near-continuous patrol rotations without breaks, vastly improving the always-at-sea deterrent model critical to U.S. nuclear strategy. From a logistics and budgeting standpoint, the long-life reactor reduces the long-term support burden. There's no need to create costly refueling infrastructure, and crews no longer face the downtime and risks associated with reactor maintenance mid-career. According to a 2023 GAO report, these lifetime reactor cores will save billions over decades in support costs, money that would otherwise go to reactor servicing and dry dock operations. But most importantly, the S-1B reactor guarantees presence. At any moment, anywhere on Earth, a Columbia-class sub could be silently lurking beneath the waves, powered, ready, and armed. This capability reinforces what strategic planners call assured second strike potential. Even if an adversary were to strike first, these subs ensure the U.S. can respond with overwhelming force. Of course, even a reactor with 42 years of energy means nothing if the submarine itself is detected. But Columbia's greatest strength might not be its power, it's the sound of nothing at all. Silence is lethal. Submarines have long lived or died by their ability to hide. In a world where sonar can bounce off hulls from miles away, silence is the ultimate defense. The Columbia-class doesn't just aim to be quiet, it's being designed to disappear entirely from the auditory map. The secret? A radical departure from old mechanical systems, an electric drive propulsion system. Traditionally, submarine reactors produce steam to turn turbines through reduction gears, a noisy, vibration-prone process. Columbia eliminates this step. Instead, the reactor powers electric generators, which in turn drive a quiet, high-efficiency electric motor connected to a pump jet propulsor. That alone dramatically cuts down mechanical noise. The pump jet, used instead of a traditional propeller, reduces cavitation, the sound caused by tiny bubbles imploding in water. One of the main ways subs are detected today. Beyond propulsion, the Columbia's hull is lined with anechoic tiles, sound-absorbing materials that scatter or soak up sonar pings. The hull design also includes noise-isolated compartments and floating deck structures to suppress onboard vibrations. Add in its X-shaped stern control planes, which reduce hydrodynamic resistance and maneuver noise, and the result is a vessel that could literally blend into ambient and ocean sounds. Not just quiet, ghost-like. In technical terms, Columbia will have what experts call an acoustic advantage. It won't just be hard to find, it'll be harder to distinguish from natural oceanic noise. This matters most in contested waters like the Arctic, South China Sea, or the North Atlantic, where detection equals death. For U.S. adversaries, the Columbia represents a nightmare, a weapon that could be just offshore, unheard and unseen, until it's too late. But silence alone isn't the point. Hidden within Columbia's sleek hull is an arsenal powerful enough to strike cities from beneath the sea. And that arsenal changes everything. An underwater arsenal. Hiding in the dark is only half the Columbia-class story. The other half, what it carries. Within its colossal hull are 16 vertical launch tubes, each capable of holding a Trident 2D5 LESLBM, a submarine-launched ballistic missile with terrifying range, accuracy, and destructive potential. Though the Ohio-class carried 24 tubes, the Columbia's 16 are more than enough. These missiles aren't just weapons, they're strategic chess pieces that reach across continents. Each Trident 5LE, the life extension version, can travel over 7,500 miles and carry multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, MIRVs. That means a single missile can hit several targets, each with nuclear warheads ranging from 100 to 475 kilotons. Multiply that by 16 launch tubes, and each Columbia-class sub holds the power to reshape the world in less than 30 minutes. Yet paradoxically, their true value is in not being fired. These missiles turn the submarine into a second strike platform, designed to retaliate after an enemy's first nuclear move. This concept ensures mutual destruction in any nuclear conflict. It's terrifying, and exactly the point. An enemy may disable surface-based silos or bomber fleets, but the Columbia-class, hidden in the vast ocean, guarantees a response. That alone deters most from even contemplating a first strike. Strategists call it a mobile deterrent sanctuary. That's not hyperbole. These subs can hide under Arctic ice, loiter near disputed coastlines, or patrol the open Pacific. Undetectable, unreachable, unchallengeable. And because of their modern reactor and automation, they can stay submerged for months, waiting, watching, ready. These missiles make the Columbia a deadly threat, but it's the sub's ability to stay hidden for months at a time, anywhere on Earth, that makes deterrence a full-time reality. Always at sea. In the nuclear chess game, visibility is vulnerability. The Columbia-class submarine takes the concept of continuous at-sea deterrence to its most extreme conclusion. Unlike older classes that required frequent maintenance, Columbia's 42-year nuclear reactor, combined with automation and crew rotation models, enables the sub to remain submerged and operational for months at a time, without surfacing. This isn't just about staying underwater longer, it's about unpredictability. The U.S. Navy plans to build 12 Columbia-class subs to replace 14 aging Ohio-class SSBNs. That's fewer boats, yet with better efficiency and longer patrols, the Navy will maintain, or even expand, global coverage. Adversaries won't know which ocean holds the Columbia. It could be in the Atlantic today, Pacific tomorrow under ice, or outside contested zones, and that ambiguity is powerful. Each patrol becomes a whisper, an unconfirmed presence, and the cost of being wrong is annihilation. The Columbia-class strategy isn't one of strength in numbers, but in the fear of the unknown. That fear prevents aggression, especially in an age where surface fleets and satellites are increasingly vulnerable. This marks a shift from visibility to invisibility as the main form of strength. Instead of showcasing power with aircraft carriers or bombers, the U.S. quietly flexes through submarines that don't need to be seen. They simply need to be imagined. And imagining a Columbia-class submarine beneath your coastline is enough to change war plans. It's also a logistics marvel. By rotating dual crews, a practice first implemented with the Ohio class, the Navy ensures these subs spend more time deployed and less time docked. This means near continuous presence without exhausting personnel. With fewer boats, more coverage, and unmatched endurance, the Columbia sets a new standard for underwater dominance. But America isn't stopping with stealthy deterrence. While Columbia silently roams, a new predator is rising. One not built just to hide, but to hunt. The next generation submarine SSNX. The next generation hunter. While the Columbia class is designed to deter, the SSNX program is being developed to dominate. Unlike Columbia, which hides and waits, SSNX will actively hunt enemy submarines, surface ships, and underwater drones. Expected to enter service in the early 2040s, this new class will blend the stealth of Virginia-class subs with the power and speed of the Seawolf class, plus the long-life reactor core of Columbia. Initial projections suggest a displacement over 10,000 tons, much larger than any current U.S. attack submarine. This signals major improvements in onboard systems, weapons payloads, and unmanned vehicle support. SSN open (X) close parenthesis will likely carry hypersonic weapons, advanced sonar arrays, and be able to deploy underwater drones in Wolfpack tactics, a capability no U.S. sub currently has. It's not just a hunter, it's a force multiplier. The SSNX is being shaped by future warfare. That means multi-domain integration, not just torpedoes and cruise missiles, but potentially cyber, electronic warfare, and AI-driven threat analysis. It's being built to dominate littoral zones, deep ocean hunting grounds, and contested spaces like the South China Sea. Every feature aims at securing superiority where adversaries like China's Type 096 or Russia's Yasin class are rising. Together, SSNX and Columbia represent a two-pronged U.S. undersea strategy, one sub to deter through stealthy presence, another to hunt and win wars silently beneath the waves. This shift is deliberate. As surface fleets become more vulnerable to satellites, drones, and missiles, submarines are becoming the centerpiece of naval warfare. The ocean is becoming a battlefield of shadows, and SSNX is being designed to own those shadows. From undersea dominance to sensor warfare, it's the future of invisible combat, and it's coming fast. And for America's adversaries, this creates a chilling dilemma. Because whether it's Columbia or SSNX, they might already be there, under the waves, silent, waiting. Why this submarine terrifies every major power. For the world's military planners, the Columbia class represents a nightmare. Not because of what it does, but because of what it prevents others from doing. A submarine weighing 20,810 tons, stretching 560 feet, and armed with 16 nuclear launch tubes should be easy to track. But the Columbia class is engineered to be the opposite. Its electric drive, pump jet, and acoustic shielding make it nearly invisible to every detection system currently deployed by China, Russia, Iran, or North Korea. This is where the fear begins. Detection is everything in naval warfare, but the Columbia doesn't behave like a machine. Its noise signature blends into the ocean's natural background hum. Waves, shifting water layers, seismic murmurs. Enemy sonar operators listening for a submarine in 2025 might hear something, but not enough to classify. They can't tell if it's a whale, a current, or death itself sitting 3,000 feet below. Then comes global reach. A Trident 2D5 missile fired from a Columbia-class submarine can strike targets over 7,500 miles away. That means the boat never has to enter enemy waters. It can remain far offshore in safety, yet still threaten every major city, port, and military base on another continent. A single sub could target dozens of strategic assets in under 30 minutes. But the most chilling part is strategic ambiguity. Major powers must assume there is always a Columbia-class submarine lurking somewhere within firing distance. That uncertainty paralyzes aggression. It forces nations to calculate risks that are impossible to measure. Because if they are wrong in ice, even once, the consequence is irreversible. This is why military analysts call it the ghost guarantee. No alarms, no warnings, no sign until the moment it's too late. But a ghost this powerful doesn't rely on missiles alone. The secret lies in the hidden engineering. The technologies buried deep in its hull that make its disappearance possible. The hidden technology. Turning a massive steel giant into a phantom requires more than quiet motors. The Columbia-class carries layers of engineering that bend sound, distort sonar, and hide its presence even from advanced underwater surveillance nets created after 2010. One of these secrets is its pump jet propulsion system, a shrouded rotor that eliminates the cavitation bubbles traditional propellers create. Cavitation is loud. A pump jet is nearly silent. This alone reduces detectable noise by more than 40 to 60%. Next comes the electric drive. Instead of mechanical gears, the S1B nuclear reactor produces electricity that powers motors directly. No clanking, no grinding, no metal-on-metal vibrations. What little sound remains is absorbed by the submarine's anechoic tiles, rubber-like blocks covering thousands of square feet of hull. These tiles trap sonar pulses, scattering them into harmless micro-echoes instead of returning clean reflections. The design itself is stealthy. The hull curvature, the placement of control planes, and even the internal piping are structured to eliminate unnecessary vibration. Engineers reduce mechanical noise in some systems by over 80%, ensuring that even at 25+ knots, the sub is quieter than older boats at idle. Its extern control surfaces, a major leap from traditional cruciform shapes, improve maneuverability while minimizing turbulence, one of the loudest underwater footprints. But technology alone isn't the biggest gamble. What truly raises global tension is the cost, the political stakes, and the possibility that one mistake underwater could ignite a world-shaking chain reaction. The high-stakes gamble. Behind the Columbia-class lies one of the largest military investments in U.S. history. The full 12-boat program carries a projected cost exceeding $130 billion by the mid-2030s. For comparison, that's more than the GDP of dozens of nations. And when a weapons program reaches this scale, every delay, every supplier issue, every political shift becomes a strategic risk. The U.S. Navy has already warned Congress that even a 6 to 12-month delay could leave gaps in nuclear deterrence coverage as older Ohio-class subs retire. These boats were designed for a 42-year service life, and many are nearing their limit. If Columbus-class subs are late, America may temporarily lose part of its at-sea nuclear shield, a vulnerability rivals like Russia and China monitor very closely. Then comes escalation risk. A single submarine carrying 16 nuclear missiles has the power to trigger global catastrophe. If misidentified, misinterpreted, or threatened, the Columbia-class could become a flashpoint. In a high-tension scenario, say a crisis in the South China Sea, an accidental submarine collision or sonar miscalculation could lead to military decisions made in minutes, not hours. And yet, despite the risks, one truth remains. The future of global power isn't on the surface. It's underwater. where the next age of dominance is already taking shape. What this means for the future. The Columbia-class marks the beginning of a new era, one where the most powerful military force on Earth hides beneath waves instead of flying overhead. By the 2030s, when the first Columbia enters full service, the U.S. will possess unmatched control of the undersea domain. Combined with the upcoming SSNX fleet, America is shaping an oceanic power structure where stealth, silence, and endurance outweigh raw firepower. This changes everything. Surface ships, even massive aircraft carriers, are increasingly vulnerable to hypersonic missiles, drones, and satellite tracking. But submarines operate in a realm where detection remains uncertain and technology evolves slowly. A Columbia-class submarine could survive for months underwater, move thousands of miles, and remain undetected even in crowded maritime regions. Global militaries must now prepare for a conflict where the decisive battles happen out of sight. Nations like China, Russia, India, and the UK are rapidly expanding their submarine fleets. Some are developing underwater drone swarms, seabed sensors, and quantum detection arrays, all attempts to counter US stealth. But for now, none can match the Columbia's combination of reactor endurance, acoustic invisibility, and nuclear reach. And so the question remains, in a world where the deadliest power is invisible, how do nations stay safe? The answers lie beneath the waves, where only the silent survive. The oceans just got deadlier. The Columbia-class is no ordinary vessel. It's the future of war, hidden in plain water. If this silent predator is already beneath the waves, what comes next? Subscribe, stay alert. And let us know in the comments, does peace now depend on fear?